What's up? Thanks for visiting the Piscifun YouTube channel. We're about to go through the breakdown and maintenance of the Carbon X spinning reel. Stay tuned and check it out. Okay, let's get started.
Okay, we're going to do a breakdown on the Carbon X 2000. The breakdown is going to be the same for each one of the Carbon X reels as well. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take and twist the handle backwards to loosen it up. And take and lay it up here all the way.
So that's a bit different than most reels because that is a direct drive handle. So what you have is the handle which screws in itself directly, and the other side is simply a cap to cap off the other side of the reel.
Okay, and what I was doing by taking that off is I'm going to show you guys. If you look in here, you have a bearing in here. Same way on the other side. So if you ever want to lube your spin reels, you can just take your lube and put you a couple drops right down in there on both sides. And what that does is that bearing is actually attached to your gear drive. Next, you're going to take and unscrew your spool. And set it off up here out of your way. Now, next thing you're going to do is you're going to take, and this is called a leaf spring. Pull that straight up and set it up here out of your way. And as you take it apart, lay everything out. The next thing you're going to do is get you a little pick, and if you see this nut right here, it actually has a lock on it. So you're going to take and get underneath of that lock and push on it with something, and it'll get underneath of it and unlock it. If you do not take that off, it will not come off. And put that lock up there out of the way. Next, this reel right here has a double safety on it to hold your nut still. So next thing you're going to do is take and pull the screw out that actually locks that nut also. And that gives you access to the nut. Okay, the next thing you want to do is take a 12mm wrench and loosen up the nut. And remember, on these nuts, they're all reverse threaded. So you're going to spin it backwards to loosen it. Pull your nut off. And then you can pull it straight up on the bell and set it off to the side. Whenever you're lubing these reels, you also have a bearing right here in the top. To pull this reel apart, you have a screw right here, a screw right here, a screw right here, and a screw right here. And I'm going to show you all that. And then also, you're going to pull these three out of the top to let loose on everything too. This reel is secured from all angles to hold everything nice and tight to make it extra smooth. And like I said, lay everything together so you know how it goes. So the next step you're going to do to grease the reel is pull that bearing off the top so you can get a hold of it a little bit, and take and wiggle it around and walk that gear out. Now you're all the gear in it, so now you can apply a little bit of grease to it. What I do is I use a fine brush. It allows me to get in there but keep things nice and clean as well. And just put you a little bit on there. And it doesn't take a whole lot. this stuff sticks to the gear and it spreads itself around. That's the best thing to remember with a spin reel. The grease does its own work. Here. Take and put you a little bit up here on your oscillating gear. Do not put too much on the oscillating gear, simply because whenever it turns, it actually pushes grease up and it rides up the shaft. And some greases are actually sticky filling once they sit for a while. So you don't want that getting on the shaft because that'll make the reel feel like it has a tough spot in it. Next thing I do, not very much. I keep it just in the teeth and that's it. And this grease is actually from Spool Speed, which is whose lube I use on my personal reels as well. So what you're going to do after you put your grease on, you got your bearing right there. That rides inside the bearing. You'll put it in the hole, and just wiggle it around, and it'll catch. Right down on the teeth it goes. Whenever you put this side back together, make sure your spacer is in there, because if it's not, then the reel is going to feel a real grindy feeling, feel like metal on metal, and nobody likes that feeling. So next, wiggle your bearing, put it back on.